Hi. I'm gonna walk for a minute and see if anyone pops on. Super nice outside today. It's Friday. And P.S., just as a reminder, I will be at Geyser Park in Leawood tomorrow morning walking at 8:45. If you're a lady and you know me, you should have an invitation in your events. But if you don't have an invitation, I just wanted to let you know that and send me a message and I'll send you the invitation. Cool. And you can invite your girlfriends. And if you have kids or pets, you can invite them too. So I think I'm going to find some shade, and I have a question for you. I was just kind of looking at this to see if I could share it easily. I don't think so. That's okay. So I have a question for you. And essentially, I would like you to think about, if you don't already think about this, because I think about it all the time as it pertains to myself and as it pertains to women right now, because my program, my free program, Loving Her, came out, and we moved into Dream, Decide, Do is the new theme. So, my question is, what does your strongest self actually look like? So, one thing that's been kind of interesting for me right now, and my coach has kind of told me to talk about it, and then I've talked about it with some of my female clients that I see in person, but right now, and you probably can't even tell, I weigh about 15 pounds more than I did last fall, and primarily just because I'm lifting weights now and I'm eating a lot more complex carbohydrates, and probably like 5 pounds of it is drinking beer over the summer. So we'll say I put on like 10 or 12 pounds of muscle, I would say. A little bit of fat though, 7 pounds of muscle maybe since the last 6 months. And I did a video when I was at kind of my lowest weight, and it was called How Did I Get So Skinny? And at the time, I was just mildly irritated because the reason I was so skinny was just because of the activity I was doing and the way I was eating. And I wasn't lifting heavy. I was just doing a couple full body workouts a week. And then I had cut down some of the complex carbohydrates just because I didn't need it. But one thing I've been kind of settling into and talking with women lately about is even just the difference between the way I feel when I'm eating. Let's say, like, right now I'm eating between 2,200 calories and 2,400 calories a day with what I'm doing. And before, like when I wasn't lifting, I was eating about 1,500 to 1,800 calories. And one kind of crazy thing that has come up is that my hair is coming back. And I didn't talk about it much, but there was a period of time there when I had been kind of cutting my calories where I was wondering if maybe I was just getting old or something. And I kind of got frustrated with my hair right after I hurt myself a few months later, and I got frustrated with life in general, and I just kind of turned it brown. I don't know if you guys remember that. So I've been going through some just different changes with just even my appearance, and they're not super drastic, and they all are based off of just things that I'm doing, and then just like me deciding to change my hair color back to where it's been. And I thought I would just let myself ramble a little bit just so I could go ahead and put it out there that I'm kind of readjusting to kind of my old state of just like being about 150 to 158 pounds. I'm up to 158 pounds right now. And that's kind of my normal. Like it's my normal ever since I stopped like doing distance running. So if I'm lifting weights, I'm going to sit about 150 to 158. So I kind of went through a whole thing in my mind that I had to talk to my coach about, with just the way that my clothes fit, and then I just kind of feel like I take up more space. So I think anytime that someone gains in size or drops in size, there's kind of that period of time where things aren't quite feeling quite right. But some conversations with ladies that have come up since I've kind of started talking about it is kind of why I wanted to bring it up now, and then I'll post this into my to my ladies group also, is just that it'll kind of depend on your season of life, like what the strongest version of yourself looks like. So when I say, like, what do you look like at your strongest, or what would be the strongest vision of you, I don't mean anything other than like what you have available to you right now. So just gathering what is going on right now in life, and it could be some chaos, it could be you're serving other people, it could be any kind of life change or pain or anything like that. So considering all of those things, what would your strongest self look like right now? Okay, so in 2016 and 2017, my strongest self looked like I was doing yoga class, and I was doing more body weight exercises because I hadn't been doing those things. And so now that I have that in place, and I re-put that in place, now my strongest self is currently what I'm doing now. So like I'm back into full blast trying to do my lifting schedule the way that I want to do it, and then also trying to make sure I do the recovery part. So the strongest version of me right now looks like doing my 2 to 3 days a week of the high intensity training, but then making sure I do all of the recovery. And so one way you can look at it though also is that if you for some reason have this picture in your mind about like what your body should look like, or about what you want it to look like, how you think it would look like, when you're at your strongest, I want you to kind of think about some of the discrepancies there. So one struggle I had with a lady that I've known for quite some time was the keto diet recently. And she hadn't asked me what I thought at first, and she had been trying it, and then she did ask me about it. And my main question for her was, how does she feel? How do you feel? And I gave her some warnings about long-term uses, but I really wanted her to focus on how she actually felt and what she actually wanted to do during her day. So like what she actually wants to do during her day is go running and lift and chase her grandkid. So for her especially, that diet in particular was not serving her in being her strongest self. Okay? So what does your strongest self look like depends a lot on like what your dream is. And I think I might sit just so. So when you think about what you want for your life, and when we went through the first like part of dream, that's the first part of my 12-week transformational program. So there's dream, decide, do. We already did dream. We're about to do decide. When you think about what your strongest self looks like, what I'm hoping that you're thinking about is what you want. Like, what would you want from your day? Would you like to be a person that has increased bone density? Would you like to be a person that has muscle? Would you like to be a person that has balance, like can keep their balance? Would you like to be a person that has nutritious foods going into their body? Like, if that's part of your desire, then what is that looking like for you? Okay? So, and that's kind of the biggest part of my job, is to just help people put together the pieces of that puzzle. Like, what does it look like for you? So asking what you want and why you want it, what it looks like to you, and then figuring out what it is that can be done about it. But the key piece in that next step, like what does your strongest self look like, and thinking about that, is the decision part. So that's where I messed up a little bit along the way for a while, is that I have the big dreams and I'm very capable of doing, but there was a lot of stuff I was doing that didn't match up. So with my strongest self. So you have your strongest self, and then you have what you're doing, but that middle part, that deciding part, the deciding that you're going to do the steps that would lead to the outcome. So my hope is that you won't feel like you're putting a bunch of harsh and rigid rules on yourself, but that we can start to have you think about that maybe you can just be that person. Like, what if you just were that person right now? So I would like you to think that maybe there isn't a whole lot of extra stuff that you need to do, but like all of the doing would just like naturally come, because that's the person that you are. Like, you're a person, in a healthy way to put this is that, like, you're a person that wants to have strong muscles and bones. I'm a person that wants to have a Sabbath, a rest day. And then, not that it's an extra task to do. So the hope with Dream, Decide, Do is that you'll actually decrease the amount of tasks that you have, or the amount of stuff that you're doing in a way. You'll decrease some of this stuff over here, and then you'll bring it back to what you're doing, that it just naturally comes out of you. It naturally comes out of you because it's the person that you are, even if you don't feel like you are that person. So if you want to lose 50 pounds, instead of focusing on the 50 pounds, what you might do is focus on what is the version of you that is 50 pounds less, and what would that version of you be doing every day? Okay, and I use weight loss examples because that's like my big thing. But even like with me in relationships, like, what would I be doing? What would the version of me be doing if I was in a happy and loving, like, relationship? Or like with being a mom, what would the version of me look like that got to spend like daily fun time with my kiddo? So like, what does that look like? And then pretty soon, like for me, now I'm getting to the point where a lot of the stuff that seemed like a struggle, or it took some thought of like what would it naturally do, now I'm into like a better rhythm. So to where now, like, when I decide that I want to do something, I automatically switch it to, okay, so if I am that person already, what would I do today? So I hope that helps you. And I hope it also helps you to know that I kind of go back and forth with what it is that I'm actually doing during the day. So that's another like big reason I wanted to bring that up, because I know we're all limited on time. So like, even today, like, if I want to get my message out there and reach people, then I need to be the kind of person that puts my message out there so that I can reach people, instead of just going about my day and not turning the phone on and going live. So if you're joining me, if you saw me live, that's awesome. I couldn't exactly see who all popped on. And then if you join me for the replay, just say hi. And if you want to get in on the program that I'm doing, Dream, Decide, Do, we are getting ready for our next 5-day live training starting on September 12th. So you've got some time, but if you go to the link in my bio, you can find out where we're at. And then you can also find the free Loving Her Facebook group, where I post daily stuff to kind of keep in touch with you all. Okay? So I'll see you soon. Bye.